different town, big company. How many employees was the company running when they hired you? When you came into the corporate office, what did it look like?
Paramount Griffin was a small distributive company. We bought products from Ciba-Geigy, Monsanto, Shell, DuPont. Rusty Griffin had taken the company over from his father, who passed away, who was Grits Griffin. And I never met Grits, but we had a small management team, and I guess there was 100 people in the whole company. We manufactured dust and emulsifiable concentrates and sold to dealers all over South Georgia, South Alabama, North Florida. But the vision had started a year before I joined the company. They wanted to have strategic planning. And strategic planning was the pivotal thing that made the difference in the company. We brought in a guy named Alan Mathis, and Rusty put him on the board. And Alan helped lead us through strategic planning, in which we look at all environmental assumptions. What's going on in the environment? What's our competition like? What are our strengths and our weaknesses? And we took it serious, man. I mean, it was serious. And we said, we want to become not a distributor, a big one. We want to become a basic manufacturer. Rather than buying from Ciba-Geigy and Monsanto and Shell, we want to compete with them. And people said, that's impossible. But we didn't read that book. And Rusty and the board gave me the responsibility to help lead that product development. And so we had the registrations, the formulations, the market, field testing, and the tech service. And so after 4 years, we said it'd take 5. After 4 years, we got rid of 90% of the customers we were selling. We no longer sold to dealers, we sold to distributors. And we got rid of about 85% of every product we were selling. We had changed products, we changed customers, and we lost 3/4 of our sales force because between their ears, they couldn't sell somebody that they'd been competing against. They just couldn't make that change. And so we brought in a new sales team one by one, and we built a strategy to sell. And that year, we broke even. 1970. And the next year, we made a profit and continued to grow, and we changed the name. We competed with the big folks. We grew from South Georgia to the U.S. and went into 87 countries around the world. It was quite a ride. It was a lot of fun. I learned a ton. One of the things I learned was that you don't have to be an accountant to understand cash flow. And cash flow is how you run a business. Right. You don't run a business P&L. P&L doesn't stand for profit and loss. It stands for profit and longevity. You have to look long term. And as a private company, we could make an investment that gave us a long-term return. It wasn't necessarily one that gave it a quick return, but long term. You could balance how you want to invest in R&D, how you want to invest in short-term stuff. And so we were able to do that where we could continue to grow to where we did about $400 million in business about the time DuPont bought us out.
A year.
Yeah.
So, where you were just talking, I feel like a lot of people are right now. The economy's doing better. We came out of the recession, licking our wounds of our losses, just barely getting by, or trying to get stable. And then here Trump comes in and boom, 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 it's just growth after growth. And for a lot of companies, I feel like, they want to do the increase, but they don't know how to make that transition. And so for you, the transition was become you the manufacturer of your own product rather than a sales of somebody else's product.
It's what you call a little bit of vertical integration. You have to look at wherever you are in the business. You look at what your strengths and weaknesses are. What's the competition like? You need a hard look at any business. I sit down with young men probably 1 or 2 a month, and I ask them stupid questions. And one of the most stupid questions you can ask somebody is, where do you make your money in your business? And they'll say, well, it's on this and this. I said, no, where do you make your money? What's the receivable on that? And what's the terms you get on that product? And what does it cost you to actually put it in? You got to focus on things that you make money on. And then, what do I have that's long-term in that? Do I have a strategic competitive position for that product or that service? What's my competition like? 5 years from now, what am I going to be doing that makes that still a cash cow for me? What can I do to protect that? You ask those kind of stupid questions, and before you know it, that person sitting across the table like you are with me, He'll solve his own problems. I don't solve any problems. He solves his own problem, but he asks the right questions. That's the key to it.